Good to see you, my friend.
Nice to see you.
Awesome.
How are you?
I am doing very well.
Spoons in my pocket.
Unbelievable.
There we go.
Unbelievable. So I have to acknowledge a bit of history before I get into any of the stuff.
No.
I have to acknowledge
History is not allowed. We are
so
not going there.
we have to go there because it's too much fun. So one very, very big, forget the legacy part. There's legacies and then there's legends, okay? So a legend and a legacy, two different things in my mind. Bob Burke fits into both of these categories. Pat Au Feu has not only been here, how many years now?
Be 45 years in May.
45
Oldest
years.
bistro in America.
Oldest French bistro in America.
Yeah.
45 years?
45 years, yeah. Yeah, it was started in 1972. My wife Annie went there as a waitress. First job in the city of Providence. And then we ended up owners by 86. And
Wow.
then somebody was going to go home and have babies. And I kept losing the flip of that coin. And the next thing you know, it's 2017. Like, boom. Crazy.
45 years, that's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
So,
That's longer than you've been on the earth.
absolutely. I'm not
man.
gonna say that's very true. I'm very okay with that too. Not by much, but I'm very okay with
You were
that.
on that other planet.
I know, my
before.
God. So, same location, right?
Same location, right
All right.
downtown,
So now-
near the arcade.
So now going to this fun histories, I have to say I've known Bob pretty much since my entire time of coming to Rhode Island, which dates back to the 90s. We've had some fun experiences and a variety of activities. I mean, a variety of activities. We put Buddy Cianci to shame on so many occasions because we would just sit there and he'd try to grandstand us and we'd grandstand him back with the amount of things we did. We did the Mayor's Restaurant Challenge.
That's right.
that
We
we did.
challenged the entire city of Boston. Talk about boxing out of our weight categories.
That was hilarious.
And we whooped them.
We did.
We whooped them.
absolutely
The
did.
restaurants of Providence, Rhode Island beat the restaurants of Boston.
We went down there in a
Massachusetts.
bus with a police
Clobbered them.
escort, right?
Clobbered
Remember
them.
this?
Hammered them.
So we've done that. We've done things with Julia Child, who is a
Oh.
big fan of yours.
Julia! Who's better than Julia?
She had been to Pat Au Feu many times. I've been to Pat Au Feu with Julia.
You know, I'll tell you a funny story about Julia. You know, everybody thinks Sambuca an Italian restaurant, and we got to the end of a long evening of champagne
Yep.
and gin and all. And Julia, I got to the end and I thought, oh, what am I going to serve Julia for after dinner drink? I said, Julia, how about a buca? And she says, oh, what? I said, a buca. You know, Sambuca. She says, oh, I've heard of it. I've never had it. Over to the table they come. I turn away for a second. The next thing I know, I look, and the glass is empty, including the beans. Okay? Now she's chewing on the beans, and I go, oh my God, am I going to be that guy? The guy who tells Julia Child that's not
How you're supposed to do it?
You know, the beans are for luck, and she looks at me, and I swig mine and chew my beans, and she says to me, oh, it's lovely. I quite like the coffee fiddle. And I was like, oh my God, me too. And I love the idea that one time, you know, maybe somewhere she was having Sambuca and everybody leaves the beans in the glasses and she
Julia
says to him, that's not how they do it in Providence. You know? And I thought, I've created a monster.
And you know what? She probably did.
I wasn't going to
Probably
be that
said
guy.
that.
I was not going to tell Julia Child she did anything wrong ever, but she really enjoyed it. We had a lot of fun with it.
The first time I ever heard somebody tell me that they could drink me under the table was Julia Child. So I think she invented that phrase because that was the first time that I ever heard that.
She had a wooden leg.
Oh my
you
God.
know, 6'1", size 13 shoes, and boy, she could, and you would never even know. You'd never know that she was in her cups.
No, she was absolutely amazing. She was absolutely an amazing woman. So we've had, these just go back, and this goes to the true legacy. You don't get people like Julia Child that will come to your restaurant unless you've established yourself as someone. And 45 years is just astounding in and of itself. But what are some of the other things in your mind? I know in the beginning there had to be challenges. I mean, when you said you came in from took over the ownership, even a transition like that has its challenges.
Yeah, I
Forget
mean,
the
it
city,
was,
right?
you know, if you look at downtown, it's totally changed. There used to be zillions of business people down here.
Yeah.
Now it's so much more residential. It's more of a neighborhood than a business district
Right.
in many ways. A lot of these buildings around us are all being converted to luxury lofts, and, you know, it's changed so much. And you know, you kind of go, wow, what happened to the lunch crowd?
Yeah.
But at the same time, the theaters went nuts. I remember when, you know, when we first, in the mid-'80s, if we had a night, and it would only come, you know, it's like a blue moon.
Yeah.
There'd be something at the Civic Center, there'd be something at Trinity, there'd be something at PPAC.
PPAC, yeah.
And the three would converge, and it would seem like the planets were in alignment, and downtown. And now that happens every night of the week.
That's unbelievable.
And
It is.
plus there's other things going on. There's the other theaters that are happening, more restaurants than we ever
More
thought
hotels.
possible, more
More
hotels
hotels,
than we
yeah.
ever thought possible. So it's really great to see. It's changed, but it's changed for the better. It's changed in a wonderful way.
I agree 100%, but I think that in the beginning, and to get yourself to this point, is that it wasn't there. We didn't, like you said, when those aligned, and you had that, it was like a golden opportunity. You wanted to open up 2 restaurants to do that.
We
But-
were around before water fire existed.
That's right, we were.
We were around a long time
We
before
were.
water fire existed. That's how far back, because nobody can remember the city without water fire anymore. And we were there. That was 10 years away.
So to be able to stick out that time to do it, and was there thoughts in your mind in the beginning like, oh my God, why am I doing this? Am I going to be able to stick this through? Did those things ever come to your mind?
It's like that old couple that, after 50 years of marriage, they asked the woman, did you ever think of divorcing him? She said, no. Killing him? Yeah. And that's what being in the restaurant business this long is like, is that there's times where you just, you think you're going to tear your hair out,
Right.
but you love it and you stay with it, and it's a passion, This
agree.
is something that you gets in your blood, and this is what's great about Providence today with the restaurants that we've got, is we're full of young, passionate people.
I agree.
And a lot of cities, that's not the case, but they add something to the mix down here.
They do. And that the
to our
colleges have
city,
brought
that's
us that. The
great.
colleges have definitely brought
It's
us
just great.
Johnson and Wales expansion has brought that, not to mention the stuff that they've added to the culinary scene as well. So let's talk a little bit, go into, there's a lot of fun things that we've done together, and it's, one of the things I also love about you is also the eternal optimist. And in this business, you need to be that. You really are that. You really are. You take things that even if they upset you, you say, but this is going to happen, and this is where it's going to go. But you're good at that. You are very good at that. I have to give you that credit.
I owe that all to my mother. She always taught me there's always a way. And there's always a way, and find the joy. Find the bright spot, and it'll work out. And it has,
So let's talk about Au Feu, because
Yeah.
you and I could go on forever on all this stuff. But let's talk about Au Feu.
Yeah.
What did you bring us today? And then I want to
Hey,
walk
of
through
course,
this.
our creme brulee.
Look at
The
that.
butter creme brulee right there. Little tiny thing, right? Yeah. That drove me crazy about creme brulee. I love it. But you know what? If you're a creme brulee lover, you love crust.
My God,
If you're a
yeah.
custard lover, you love custard pie.
Yeah.
You got to get enough crust on it, and
Oh, I
to do
agree.
that, you got to spread it out and make the crust. And there it is,
Okay.
like ice on a November puddle. Oh my God!
Look
Here,
at this.
have a bite of that.
Look at this.
Mm.
Ice on a November.
Oh
puddle.
my God! That's what it's supposed to be. Wasn't that?
Okay. I could stop talking the rest of the segment and just eat this.
And people, they go all around the world. They come back and they say to me, "I tried it in Hong Kong. It wasn't as good," and I love that. I don't know why I like dissing a restaurateur in Hong Kong, but I love whooping them.
There's things I try all over the world that aren't as good as what we get in Providence. Now, what do we have here?
Hey, this is, summer's coming, believe it or not.
I heard that.
And
On the room.
you know what's huge this year, of course, because it's been getting bigger each summer, is rosé. Rosé. Everybody's
I've
loving
been
it.
hearing this.
And nobody makes better rosés than the ones from the south of France. And if you're looking for rosé that's even more fun than rosé on a summer afternoon,
Yeah.
you've got to have rosé with bubbles.
Rosé
And this
with
is a
bubbles.
rosé champagne.
I don't think I've had the rosé
And
champagne.
look at that bubbling up. Uh,
Look at that.
Look at that color.
You guys getting jealous back there yet?
Look at that color, right? I mean, isn't that beautiful? Take a little sniff of that.
Oh my God.
Right?
It smells like summer.
That a July afternoon? Is that a July
That's
afternoon?
awesome.
Right?
See when
Indigo
Josh
ball.
when Josh gets this all set up, we'll have a table out here on the front here. We could do the interviews out there and just sip this and talk about this a little
And
bit.
here's to Josh
Cheers.
and go local.
That's right.
That's
Very
something
true.
else. Something else that's become a huge part of our downtown and our whole city. And they're out there and they're muckraking, and somehow they've managed to convince you to come over.
I don't know how
and
the
do
hell.
this, which
I'm
is
still not
great.
sure how the hell he did that.
We're doing a little lifestyle, but no, think about that. Back it was years, everywhere. WPRO, WJR, everybody was downtown immediately,
That's right. You're right.
and then it all went out to the suburbs. But now, right here in the center of the city, go local.
And
It's
in a
great
brand new,
thing.
perfect location.
It's a great thing.
This is absolutely delicious.
Isn't that nice?
Unbelievable.
Have that with a little oysters and some shrimp,
Oh, God.
sitting on the beach.
There's a lot of things I think I could pair this with.
Bouillabaisse, big, beautiful, steamy
Bouillabaisse.
bouillabaisse with the saffron coming
God.
up. And
All right, now you're making me way too hungry to be
Yeah.
on this creme brulee. So let's go to more of your legacy here. Let's talk about this. Describe, because if you haven't been to Au Feu, you're certainly missing out, and it's something you need to do. But how do you think that you've kept, I mean, besides Julie, you've had so many notable guests, but how do you think you've kept this legacy, this tradition alive there?
We get the greatest customers in the world. Our customers are so incredibly loyal to us. They're second and third generation. You know, I mean, I had a woman who came in, and it's not just our customers, it's our staff, but I had a woman who came in, she said, the first time I came to this restaurant, my parents were dropping me off at Brown University. I was 17 years old, I was starting as a freshman. The next day, I started Brown. I said, great, you know, what brings you back now? She said, this is my daughter, and I'm dropping her off at Brown University tomorrow. I had a manager from Johnson Wales. She called me up, hadn't seen her in years, and she called me up and she said, hey, I'm coming through Providence, I'm gonna bring you a gift. She walked in the door, I said, where's the present? She says, right here, this is my daughter Claire, you need to give her a job. She's starting Johnson & Wales tomorrow. And of course, she's been working for us for 4 years now.
You're kidding me.
She's gonna graduate in May. But it's not just, we've got the most wonderful staff. We've got people who've been there 20, 30 years. That makes a huge difference. And we're very lucky because we've got customers who've been coming the whole time.
No,
That's the key.
I was describing earlier. That's really what makes it. And the fact that, like you said, you've built these generations now.
And we never met a trend that we really liked. Okay? That's the other thing. Is that you just have to have the confidence to stay the course.
Right.
We've never got trendy. We never wanted to be the next 15 minutes in cuisine. I know there's a lot of people out there who Yelp and do all that, and they think, oh, you must want to be the next 15 minutes in cuisine, the next big thing. You know what? We're the last 500 years in cuisine. If you really want to know about the last 500 years recipe, I said if they invent a recipe today that's around in 100 years, I'll be interested in looking at it to see if maybe we should put it on the menu. But otherwise, we're staying true to what we do.
I love that way, and that's the word, true, staying true to it. I love that way of thinking. I think that that's excellent. So you've got all these great things, all these things that you've built up and done. You've really invested in the city of Providence and being here and staying in that location. And I think that you going back as far as you have has encouraged others to be here. And you're great friends with a number of restaurateurs, a number of chefs throughout the city. You've invested in other things that are out there. You've done these fun races that you do every year, right?
Oh, yeah.
The Beaujolais?
Yeah, we do the Beaujolais Nouveau race. That's gotten so big we have to have it 2 nights. It sells out the first night the minute we send out the invitations.
But when is that?
That's the 3rd Thursday of November. First
Thursday.
night that it's legal to drink Beaujolais Nouveau
It's
anywhere
legal.
in the world.
Do you hear that? You have to be legal.
Legal. Not that matters in Providence. Not that we've ever been so worried about that nice city. But anyway.
And then there's something that I see, and I've seen
green
the
line?
green line that goes throughout the downtown area.
The Independence Trail. I looked at Boston. I looked at how many tourists were going to Boston to see that line, to walk the Freedom Trail. It's only 16 stops up there. It's only 14 years. Here in Providence, I said, you know what? We have history that goes all the way back to the glaciers. From the glaciers to Buddy Cianci, we've got great stories. And I said, why aren't we telling them? So technology, fortunately, brought it forward. We're able to do it. We have an app. You can call in and listen to these stories as you walk around the city. You get to different spots, you dial the number, and you listen. You're now standing in front of, the Gatsby Memorial.
And you follow this line.
You follow the line. And it's circular, 2.5 miles, 12,000 years. You can't go wrong. You do a little or a lot. We give live tours. We do tours for school children. Okay? Why are we sending our school children out of state to learn history? They go to Boston, Plymouth, Sturbridge, Mystic, New Bedford, Whaley. Well, and then they go, oh, I guess Providence has nothing. What a crazy idea.
I agree.
So we're teaching Rhode Island kids Rhode Island history right here on the streets of Rhode Island. And gosh, it is so much fun.
That's awesome. I'm going to have to, I've seen the green lines, and now I got to officially take the walk. I may have to have you as my guide, but
I'd be
we're
happy
going to take
to.
some rosé. We'll
Invite some of your Go Local friends.
There we go.
And
We'll get a group together, and we'll do drinking
a
along the
group.
way.
Come on down.
We'll do some stuff. So this, and this to me is like, I was going back to the legend of the legacy. Those are the things when you reinvest in the city and you care about where you are and the location. You have your restaurant. You don't have to care about the history of Providence or reinventing it or reliving it, so to speak, for people to be out there. It's a tremendous thing. Your activities and promoting the city and being part of tourism, this is, to me, the kudos to you for established, because you made that legacy and you made yourself a legend in the process. But I remiss, before I let you go, because this I get in trouble for, everybody wants to ask, and I just had somebody tell me that they want me to bring the rosé home to my daughter's godmother says, tell them I love the beret and I want the bottle. So I think I have to bring the bottle. But
it's all yours.
Let's talk.
It's resealable.
And it's That's awesome. That's so funny.
Not like the ones I cut with the
That's so
sword.
fun. Oh,
Those
so
are
wait
not-
a minute. So
those are not
we
resealable.
can't skip that before I let's talk about the sabering, because this has been all over, and people need to go watch
Oh.
this somewhere. It's got to be on YouTube or the
Yeah,
website.
yeah,
or-
it's on-
so
it's
let's
on-
talk about the sabering.
Well, the sabering goes back to Napoleon's time,
Yeah.
and I was very honored. Julia Child was one of the 6 people inducted when I was, and they had never let anybody who wasn't French into this club, the Club des Sabreurs. And it started with Napoleon's troops who didn't want to fiddle with the cork, and the next thing you know, Zack, out comes the sabreur, Zack! You know, they're cutting the top of the bottle off. And now this is something that it's quite an honor. They sent me a beautiful diploma. And of course, since 1990, I have been slicing bottles of
Seen
champagne
it many
open
times.
for people's birthdays, anniversaries. I did it up in Boston
On a
when we
bar.
made the challenge. I've done it all over. I go around the country now. I was out in Napa, sabering for the opening of the Blue Note.
You're kidding me.
Jazz club out there. I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And anybody who's got a big celebration, got a big birthday, a 0 birthday, a nice 25th anniversary, whatever, I do it at the restaurant for them. More than happy to.
That's
Slice
awesome.
a bottle of champagne open.
Another
There's no
unique
better
thing
way
that
to
you have to check
celebrate.
out while dying there. So, real quick, before I let you go, so I've got to know, and this is the question I get asked, I try to end it with everybody, is that from your perspective, what is a dish that's either your favorite that you feel, that something that you've enjoyed immensely over the years, or something you would recommend people don't miss when they come to the restaurant?
That's really hard, and I think in the duck, our duck, we do the confit duck leg.
Such a
We
duck
roast the breast. It's falling off the bone. We serve it with a beautiful framboise, raspberry sauce.
Oh.
The other one that's killer because it's New England seafood is the bouillabaisse. It's just it's
there
like
you go.
8 different kinds of fish and little necks and all together in one big saffron infused broth.
The aroma, I
in a
can
bowl.
tell already.
It's just out of this world. And then of course, like we said here, the creme brulee. If you come to Butterford and you're not having the creme brulee,
I think I have to come over at the bar,
you're
have some
missing
of
out
this,
for
and
sure.
enjoy some duck, because now you just made me
Yeah.
hungry beyond belief. Well, thank you so much, my friend. It was really,
Mon
really a
ami.
pleasure to have you here.
Always
Really
a pleasure to see
And
you,
we
Rick.
got to do a quick picture of
Great
you and
to
I
have
before
you
we
here
go.
on Go Local.
I'm excited to be here. We've had a lot of fun so far. Let's see if
All
we can-
right,
let's do
there
the-
we go.
Let's do the Bob Burke selfie.
Oh, I wore my beret. Yeah, how nice.